So recently, Donald Trump claimed that he solved six wars. Now, normally when Trump says something really dumb, we all just kind of discount it. But then the next day, he said he ended seven wars and that he should get the Nobel Peace Prize for doing so. And so that got me thinking, what are all these wars he thinks he solved? Like, where are they? What's he talking about? And, for me, having a background in international security and international relations, I thought I'd give you all a rundown and my take on these wars he thinks he solved. Okay, so let's start. Here's the first one: Armenia and Azerbaijan. So where is that? Well, that's east of Turkey. It's near the country of Georgia and the Caspian Sea. For how long has this conflict been going on? These folks have been fighting for many years, since the 1980s. What did Trump do here? Well, apparently, Putin used to be the mediator of this conflict, but Trump took an interest after Putin's attention went to Ukraine. And so now there's a deal there that Trump made, and the deal is more of an economic one involving a transit route in the area. It's not really a peace deal, but it is a step in the right direction. The countries have not agreed on a shared border, so I'm not really sure you can say the conflict is solved yet. Azerbaijan's ambassador to the United States warned, until Armenia's constitution is changed, peace will not be possible. And of course, that hasn't happened. All right, number two, Congo and Rwanda. Where is that? Central Africa. How long has this war been going on, this conflict? Over 30 years, and it's killed millions of people. What did Trump do here? Well, for this one, he simply was the president sitting in the White House when the leaders of these two countries decided to sign a peace deal in the White House. Now, Qatar did most of the work. And given Qatar's affinity for Trump, my guess is that they suggested that the leaders of those countries travel to Washington, D.C. to give their buddy, the guy that gave them, that they gave the luxury jet to, give him a political win. And the deal itself is mostly a mineral deal for the U.S. to tap into the resources in that region. But the problem is that the fighting in those African countries still continues. One of the main parties in the conflict, the M23 rebel group, was not a part of the deal, and they continue to operate. In fact, in July, there were still 140 people killed in the conflict. So it doesn't appear to me to be solved. And the peace deal doesn't appear to be all that good of a deal if 140 people were killed last month. Okay, number three, India and Pakistan. Where's that? Well, India and Pakistan, South Central Asia. How long has this conflict been going on? A long time, decades on and off. But there was a terrorist attack in the spring that killed 26 civilians in the Kashmir region between the two countries. That's the region between the two countries. And that ramped up a lot of the tension. So what did Trump do? Almost nothing. India has denied any U.S. role in the negotiations to end the fighting. There is a ceasefire there. The fighting has stopped. India says that it worked directly with Pakistan to come up with that agreement. Pakistan actually wanted to give some credit to Trump, probably to get on his good side so that their tariffs can be relaxed. And sure enough, at a tariff rate of only 19%, Pakistan said they would nominate Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay. India has made no such kissassery to Trump, and their tariffs have remained as high as 50%. So yes, our foreign relations right now consist of how much countries can appease the narcissist in our Oval Office, sadly. All right, number four, Israel and Iran. Where's that? The Middle East, of course. How long has this been going on? I'd say probably 1979 since then, but really since Iran started working on a nuclear weapon, maybe, a decade ago. And what did Trump do? Well, he ordered B-2 airstrikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities, as well as intelligence sharing and military aid to Israel in this conflict. Israel also conducted lots of targeted strikes in Iran, and Donald Trump said, "It was my great honor to destroy all nuclear facilities and capability and then stop the war." Okay, that's what Trump claims. But after all that, Iran still may have nuclear material. They still may have nuclear capability. There's wide disagreement whether the facilities were destroyed. And Iran now appears to be more emboldened if you read reports of the military there, basically the IRGC, which is their equivalent of the high-ranking military there. So the jury is probably still out on this one. I don't think there's a whole lot of people that think that conflict has ended. All right, number 5, Cambodia and Thailand. Where's that? Southeast Asia. For how long has this been going on? Well, violent fighting has been going on just really this year. 40 people to date this summer have been killed, but the conflict, of course, goes back decades. Trump said that he told the leaders of Thailand and Cambodia that he would stop trade talks unless they agreed to a ceasefire with, these tariffs. And they did. They agreed to a ceasefire. So I guess that's good. However, the underlying issues haven't really been solved. But I guess he could claim he brokered a ceasefire, I suppose. And 6, Egypt and Ethiopia. Where's that? Northern Africa. That's where those countries are. How long has this conflict been going on? Decades. It's not really a military conflict at all yet, but it's more of a diplomatic dispute, which happens all the time in countries, by the way. Africa's largest hydroelectric dam is what is being disputed over. Egypt is really concerned about how Ethiopia might operate the dam during the times of drought. So what did Trump do here? Nothing. He did nothing. The tensions between the two countries appear to actually have been eased this year, which apparently is due to heavy rainfall. Not Donald Trump, but, he's going to call a win no matter what. So there you have it. My assessment, number of wars actually solved by Trump, 0. Number of ceasefires Trump could claim, 1, maybe 2. Number of conflicts temporarily halted or, stopped temporarily with or without Trump being in office at all, meaning he didn't really do anything. He just happens to be in office during this time, probably maybe 3. So that's my assessment. Donald Trump, of course, is going to claim all kinds of shit. But the bottom line is, a lot of it is just these things happen when he's in the White House. I don't think he's gone out of his way to really solve any conflicts. But, that's my assessment.